Hello and welcome to Crypto Divas. I'm Morgan Pierce and I have my co-host Jillian Gotzel, and today is April the 15th, Sunday, April 15th, tax day in the United States, and we are here to present good week, bad week in crypto. So Jill, you kick off with a piece of good news, hopefully.
Okay, good news. Yes, actually I have a very good piece of very, very good news. An agency announced that cryptocurrencies are halal, or the Sharia, I can't say it now. Help me, what's the law called again? Sharia law compliant. And this is huge because up until now, I mean, like Islamic banks have been very strict about their lending, what you can and can't do. And most of the Muslim population, which is a quarter of the world's population, have been getting mixed messages, different people saying cryptocurrencies are kosher or they're not, or actually halal or not kosher. That's a Freudian slip. But anyway, this company, Blossom Finance in Indonesia, posted a 22-page document to say that the cryptocurrencies are halal and they are allowed now to invest in them. And as we said earlier, I think that's what caused the market to go whoop. So that was good news.
It's really good news. Very, very good news. Yeah, I have. I don't have much bad news actually. This has been a good week. I think that's what we're going to end up with. The Central Bank of Russia announced that they are working with Ethereum to create a pan-Eurasian payments system, and so that's really good news. And Ethereum, I think, shot through the roof. It's gone up from $380 to $510 or something like that in just a matter of days. So a lot of good news around the Ethereum. I think you may have some Ethereum news, in fact.
I do. Well, it's more to do with, let me find which was the Ethereum. It's to do with Vitalik. Last week I was saying he was sort of trolling other people. I'm going, keep it, if you've got a voice, you got a platform, use it for good. And he's coming out, and there's a lot of hard forks happening recently, the Monero one too as well. There's another one against the ASIC mining because the idea is that because they're so easy to mine now, it's concentrating mining, which is against the whole idea of decentralization. But he's basically saying, stop doing this, stop doing the forks, because it can split the community and it's a distraction from development. So I think that's a good use of his time and voice. So
I totally agree, and it's necessary. We chatted about it last week, in fact. Santander launched the retail payments application that has been in the works now, built on Ripple, and so that went live again this week. Another piece of really good news that there's actually an application out there, payments application that's built on blockchain that is global and working. So that's another piece of really strong news.
Yeah, and again, more strong news again. Pantera Capital, it's a crypto hedge fund. The CEO, a chap called Don Moorhead, has said that he reckons in his April newsletter, he reckons that Bitcoin will break 20,000 this year. And why that's relevant is that he also predicted the fall of 50% in December. And so his predictions have been fairly accurate so far. And of course, that ties into Tim Draper, because we know back in 2014, when Bitcoin was only 320 euros per coin, he said it would break 10,000 last year, which it did, of course. And he's now come down on record by saying by 2022, he reckons Bitcoin will be worth $250,000. So the positivity is coming back. Yes. All very exciting. That's good news.
Another piece of good news. In Germany, the Börse Stuttgart launched or announced that they would be launching a no-fees trading app. And so customers of Börse Stuttgart would be able to buy Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, and Ripple using this application, and they're not going to charge any fees for it. So again, another opportunity for a lot of money to come into the market, another endorsement.
Yeah. And it's a free app, free fees, and also apparently the identity process is easier too. It's called Bison, isn't that right? So it's all very positive.
Yeah.
I'm going to do some bad news. We need some bad news. And it's not really bad news, but it's again the whole conflation, mixing up. Backpage, the online classified website, they've now been shut down. They've been pulled. Now, earlier in 2005, they were accused of having ads promoting prostitution. That's when MasterCard pulled its support for it. And Bitcoin became the default currency on the site. And then last month, the grand jury in Arizona indicted 7 employees, again on these money laundering, prostitution supporting ads. And they reckon they're making $500 million from these illegal ads. And then in April the 6th, the FBD stepped in and closed down everything. And of course, and the 2 founders, a chap called Michael Lacey and James Larkin, and 5 others have been indicted or been investigated. But of course, the headlines are all Backpage accused of using Bitcoin to launder illicit ads. So again, it's the confusion in the marketplace because Bitcoin was the de facto currency. So it's bad news in the sense that the mainstream papers are still getting it wrong.
Right. Well, they always do, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I don't have any bad news. I have more good news. Moody's issued a report this week, which Moody's is a big rating agency in the United States. It's Standard & Poor's and Moody's are the two primary rating agencies, and they issued a report saying that blockchain technology could help eliminate $1 billion worth of costs in the mortgage industry in the United States by streamlining processes and reducing redundancies in the system. So that's a very positive endorsement of blockchain technology and what it could do there.
Brilliant. I have another piece of weird news. I don't think it falls into either. We spoke last week about Petra, the Venezuelan coin, and all the hoo-ha behind it, and Trump banning it. But apparently, some of the supporters behind the Petra coin have said they have thanked Trump for all the free publicity and said that their coin is going stratospheric. So I don't know whether that's good news and bad news or just weird news. Weird, I think.
Anything else on your part?
Yeah, I do have two more things. I have one is I was chuckling at this. There's a class action against Jamie Dimon, whom you know, the JP Morgan managing director, who said that Bitcoin is Ponzi, whatever. There's now a class action being brought against him because if you use JP Morgan credit cards to buy Bitcoin, you were charged hidden costs. Customers were not informed about it, and then when they tried to get it redeemed, they refused to. So there's a class action of 4 guys going against Jamie Dimon. Nice.
Is it Jamie Dimon or is it JP Morgan?
JP Morgan, sorry, but just because he's in there,
yeah,
I'm
but
like,
still, yeah, exactly. He's.
And then I have a really, really, really fabulous piece of news. Right, I'm just picked up on this now, and although I think I'm probably late to the scene with this one. It's to do with Syrian refugees and blockchain. So it's the Ethereum blockchain is restoring the identity of Syrian refugees in Jordan. This is a project being run by the UN's World Food Programme. Now, if you imagine, if you are a refugee, you're living in a camp, you don't have proof of your identity or your address. You're basically a nameless, faceless person in this world. So what they're doing is they are using the blockchain as a private fork. And basically, you load your identity onto this blockchain, and you can access funds directly. And they give an example of somebody going into a grocery store, and they go up to pay for whatever goods they need, and they go up to the camera, and they call it iPay because they do a selfie with the camera, and the camera can recognize that person. They have an identity on the blockchain, and that's how they pay for their food. And the beauty about this is that it restores identity to people who've lost everything, which is fantastic. The costs are amazing too as well. Apparently they have reduced the cost of transferring the money because they're doing it directly to the person who needs it by 98%. So I am just so excited by that because you know the way people don't think about when you're a refugee, you have no identity. How do you get a bank? How do you get a job? How even if you do land in a country where you're trying to start your life again, how do you prove who you are? So that's a huge, huge, amazing story for the blockchain. I love that.
I think that's an incredible use of blockchain technology to change. That's a perfectly valid example of how blockchain is going to change the world.
Because it's so hard to contemplate what it's like to have no identity. We know now with the KYC and AML, it's a pain in the butt trying to get all your stuff together. But at least you have stuff. I have bills. I have passport, I have a proof of address, I have all those things. And if you don't have them, wow, that is, and your reduction of costs. It's just, I'm so excited about this. I want to go and interview the guy who's doing it. I'm searching for him on Google now. Amazing story.
Great story of social change. That's really, really cool. Wrapping up, we had a great week in crypto. The market went from 263 billion last Sunday, and today, or as we're filming this right now, it's about 335 billion. So we're talking about an increase of almost 75 billion in 1 week. I think it's a real endorsement that the cryptocurrency market is back on its way up. Everything that I've read is suggesting that it's going to be up from here, that it's not going to have another correction unless, of course, some really bad news comes out. But yeah, so I think all in all, we can definitely say that this week was a great week in crypto.
Yeah, I'm very happy that UN stuff. I'm just so happy about that because, as you know, we gave a talk last week together, and you did the background to the blockchain, and I did about the use cases. This is going on my list. This is a perfect example of why we're so excited in this industry. It's just fantastic. It's a great week. What a good week. It's a great week.
Okay. See you next week.
Okay. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.